This is so heartbreaking. So please keep that in mind as you enjoy yourselves in the chat and as you go back and forth. Speak your piece in the chat. It's not an echo chamber, but please remember to be respectful because the families could be watching, and we just want to try to do the best we can, right? Because a life has been lost. That's what I want to say. That's how I choose to set the tone. So yeah, and I know how that feels because I lost a brother.
Exactly. The families are watching this. And the thing is nobody cares. Nobody's caring about the fact that these people are in mourning. They have to relive this over and all over again, a whole year later, 2 years later. So this is not a laughing, this is not a joke. It's not something that people should be grifting off of. I rest in peace, Austin Metcalf. This is not me taking a side. This is me 100%, trying to report what's going on and give you guys the information as best I can. For those that are unaware of what's going on, let's go.
About a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So yeah, that pain never goes away. But in spite of all of that, it has to go through the legal system. And Carmelo Anthony has to get a fair trial. Will he get one? I think both sides have done the best that they could to select a proper jury. And let me just tell you something. A juror was in tears today. She was in tears today. Now, this juror that was in tears today is an older white woman. And y'all know I nicknamed jurors. I nicknamed her Miss Barbara. When one of the key witnesses testified, Coach Robert Starr, who's the head coach for the Memorial High School track team, testified regarding the events that happened and what he witnessed and some of the details that were very uncomfortable, but hey, it brought her to tears. And the guy next to her, the gentleman next to her, that was a male juror, I witnessed him consoling her. Let me say this. This is going to be a very tough case for the defense. I don't know what their strategy is, okay? Because the government has come. The government is not here to play. They are not applying leniency. They're not tiptoeing around the matter. They are putting it dead in the face of the jurors. They're not saying a life was lost. They are calling it cold-blooded murder. They're saying things like he plunged a knife into his heart. They are not here to play. Do you understand me? And when the opening statements began, let me tell you how it worked. Each side had 20 minutes to present their opening statements. The government, and I told you, I said, if you want fair, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. I'm going to tell you what the hell is happening in the courtroom. The government did such a good job with their opening statements that I said, well, I'll be damned. I don't know where the defense can go from here. I don't know where they can go from here. This is just me being fair. I said, if the government does a good job, I'm going to tell you that. If the defense does a good job, I am going to tell you that. This is a sad case all around. But before we get into that, we got to go back to yesterday. We got to go back to yesterday to bring you to speed of how or what's happening in the courtroom, because we also have to focus on the jury selection. Yesterday, juror number 27, 37, and 48 were struck. They happened to be 3 Black females. The 3 potential Blacks were struck, okay? And all of them are educators. So you had 3 Black females that happened to all be educators. They were struck. Now, the defense challenged the strike and they filed a motion for the judge to consider reinstatement. The DA said that they struck the jurors, the 3 Black jurors, not because they were Black, but because they were educators. And they did not want any teachers on the jury at all. That was what the DA was saying. The defense got a chance to argue their side, and the state received an opportunity on yesterday to argue their side. The defense was claiming, listen, you struck them. They were running with the race claim. And I'm just going to tell you everything, right? They said they struck 3 Black jurors. They didn't even talk to them. They didn't ask them any question, Your Honor. We want to file a motion to have them reinstated. The judge rebutted before making a decision. And what Judge Roach said, hey, listen, that's why we have questionnaires. Why use the questionnaires? Why use them if you're not going to rely on them? I'm just giving you verbatim. Now, let me give you a little bit about Judge Roach, John Roach Jr. He's a no-holds-barred kind of person. He has a very different kind of personality. He's somewhat assertive. One juror described him as scary. He sounds like Dave Ramsey Let me read the notes. His voice sounds just like Dave Ramsey, but he looks like JD Vance, the vice president. Got it? Sounds like Dave Ramsey, but looks like JD Vance. He doesn't have a lot of patience at all. He says what he means and he means what he says. So then the judge denied the reinstatement. He denied the motion, the defense's motion. And the reason why he denied it is because he said the state has no race relation reason to strike those three black jurors, other than the fact that they were educators. So then the defense raised the notion, hey, wait a minute, there's still an educator on here. And they said, yeah, but she's an esthetician, not an independent school district educator. So I wanted to give you those details, okay? So here are the jurors that they selected. Juror number 5, juror number 11, juror number 17, number 18, number 21, number 24, number 28, number 38, number 49, number 53, number 58, number 66, 69, 71, 75, 78, 79, and 80. I told you this morning that this is called, that I nicknamed this jury the 7-11 jury. Why do you say that? There's 7 men, 11 women. Let me say it again. 7 men, 11 women. And then I gave you the ratio. Hold on. 5 white women, 6 white men, 3 Asian women, 2 Indian women, 1 Middle Eastern man, 1 girl. I'm not sure of her race, but I nicknamed her Punky Brewster because she looks like a punk rocker. Of the 6 white men, 2 of them are younger. What do you mean younger? They look like they are built like linebackers. They look like they could have or may have gone to school. I'm not saying they did, but I'm just giving you aesthetics because you're not in the courtroom. They look like they can play football. Oh, this is a brilliant selection. And I don't know if that's the prosecution or the defense, but that was a brilliant selection to put 2 white boys that come close to resembling the victim.
All right. So the question was, why is this a high profile case? Neither were famous. Is it because he has the same name as the athlete, Carmelo Anthony? It was a tragedy what happened, but I was wondering why all the news coverage. The news coverage ensued once what happened is because Carmelo Anthony's black and Austin Metcalf is white, white nationalists turned this into a race thing. They came out there, Jake Lang and his crew did a whole protest, White Lives Matter protest, and it became a whole white versus black thing. So that is why it's gotten so much, because they blew this up into a whole race situation. So that is what's going on. And so it's like, okay, will this black kid for killing this white kid get freed, after he murdered a white kid on a track and field? So that's pretty much what is making it the racial element of it all. Let's go.
Aesthetically. Got it? There's an older white woman. I nicknamed her Miss Barbara. That's the one that was brought to tears today. Without giving you too much, there's a juror that I nicknamed Grumpy. He kept a permanent frown on his face today every time the defense spoke. So you got Miss Barbara, you got Punky Brewster, you got Grumpy, and I haven't nicknamed anybody else. But those were the key jurors today that I received the most body language from, based on my observation, based on my assessment, and I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits. Exactly. So day 1, each side received 20 minutes for their opening statements. And when I tell you I walk into that courtroom, let me give you a little bit about the aura in the courtroom. There was an eerie silence, almost uncomfortable. There was an eerie silence. Heavy law enforcement presence. When we're talking assault rifles, guns, they were vested up, booted up, suited up.
Yeah, this case has so much to it that has to do with race, that even the police have to have a heavy presence. They have to make sure that the courthouse is locked down. They're not trying any other cases in the courthouse. All those cases have been delayed just so that they can keep the courthouse locked down because it's so racially charged.